Hello, my name is Marc Stuart, as you can see from the label. I am a medium. I am streaming live from Scotland, and I am being chaired by my wife. Ever since lockdown began in the UK, I have not been able to work on any church platforms. So I started doing live streaming on a Sunday, 8 o'clock, and now it's 8:30. I have been experimenting with different nights to try and reach an audience in America because prior to lockdown, as a medium, I work in the United States as well as the United Kingdom. That's what we're doing tonight. If you want a reading, you type a message saying, I want a reading. There is a time delay. Don't know, I'm using StreamYard, which then broadcasts onto YouTube and Facebook on my profile and my page. So I'm not sure how long that time delay is going to be tonight. On a good evening on a Sunday, it can be 10 seconds. On a bad night, it can be 30 to 40 seconds, which makes working as a medium difficult. Do not ask any questions. These are not private readings. I am a spiritual medium, so I will bring forward, connect with a loved one on the other side, and I will give evidence of that person to you. Typically 2 to 4 lines of evidence, then I will get a message. I do not do anything unorthodox. I do not predict the future, don't diagnose. It's just straightforward communication. Usually in a private reading, it would be 2-way, but obviously in an event like this, it's 1-way. I will be doing a prayer. I will do a short spiritual address, mainly because that helps me to open up to the other side. That's pretty much about it. I'm not a church, not pretending to be a church, but as a medium, that's how I work on a church platform. I am broadcasting from Scotland, which is 12:30 in the morning. Who gets a message? If we have a small number of people, everyone will get a message. If we have a large number of people, that's Ying, my wife, saying hello. She puts your name in a box, draws your name out of the box, and, well, let me show you. This is how names get chosen on a Sunday. So basically, your names go in a box, piece of paper, squared up. My wife puts her hand in the box, takes your name out of the box, and puts the name on my desk where I'm sitting and working. Ying's hands are about the only thing you're ever going to get to see of her. Now, I also like to play music. There's an advert inbuilt into it. I am a Scottish medium, so I'm sorry if you don't like Scottish music. Now's the time to turn the volume down. Now, a health warning to anyone. I have just blocked somebody, so they're not going to be able to send any messages or continue. Any disruptive action whatsoever, and you're going to see the nasty side of a Scotsman. I may be a spiritual medium, but I still wear a kilt. You better believe it. Okay, so thank you for sitting through the music. Now, I would ask you to join me in a prayer. So let me just get my computer to catch up. So, dear Father, Mother, Spirit, thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for opening the door to the other side. Please, if anyone wants a reading, let the loved ones come forward to give them the reading that they need and or want. Please help us to protect ourselves. Please help us to get through life and the current crisis that we all face everywhere on the planet. And please let us do it with a smile. Thank you. Amen. Okay, so if anyone would like a reading, now is the time to put yourself forward. No one has of yet come forward asking for a reading, so I am going to do a very short spiritual address. Life at the beginning of this year was quite interesting. I started in China, then I went to America, then I came home. So I saw the virus in 3 different locations and how different cultures were reacting to it. At the end of the day, it's a virus. At the end of the day, it's contagious. At the end of the day, we all have to react the same way. Spiritualism is the same. Spiritualism is very different in China. It's totally different to America, and America is totally different to Scotland. I have to adapt when I go to those areas to the local laws and customs. What I do remains the same. I still connect to the other side. I still bring forward evidence of the other side. But the way you say things, the way you do things, the laws are different. The customs are different. The people, although still the same, are also very different. At the end of the day, though, spiritualism is spiritualism. Giving evidence of life after death remains the same. So, that's it. That's my spiritual address. That's my prayer. I'm now fully open. If anybody wants a reading, now's the time to let us know. Good evening, Carol. Thank you for the hello. You're the first one to actually talk, apart from that conman that's been blocked. If anybody would like a reading, you're going to have to step forward and ask for one. I do not throw readings out. I do not throw messages out. I go direct to people as a general rule. Carol, it's just quite simple. If you want a message, you have to say you want one. If anyone wants a message, you have to type in the chats, the comments that you want a message. If you don't do that, I'm just going to sit here and twiddle my thumbs. And spirit ain't going to hang around. Catch-22, if you don't ask for a message, I don't know that you've given me permission to work with you, and I won't give you a message without permission to work. That's the first rule of spiritual mediumship. Anybody that tries to give you a message without your permission, hypocritical oath. It's the spiritual version of it. Well, folks, it is now 12:41 in the morning where I am. I ain't going to sit here all night. If you don't want a message, then you're not going to get one. Sorry, if you don't ask for a message, you're not going to get one. I'll give it another few minutes. If nobody comes forward asking for a message, then I'm going to close myself down to the other side. So I'll give everybody till 12:45. If you don't step forward to ask for a message, Okay, Carol, thank you. Okay, Carol, give me a few seconds. You're the first message, so bear with me. I have a man coming forward, quite elderly when he passed. Very thin, very weak. I think he had a long life. He's very, how can I put this? I'm going to say bent physically. He couldn't stand up straight. Now, Carol, if that's a yes to an elder man, I need you to confirm what I'm giving you the evidence of. Once I've given 2 or 3 lines of evidence, don't come at me and say yes, no, yes, because there's a time delay. So just to explain, when I give you some evidence, if you say yes, if you give me a yes, I'm assuming it's a yes to everything. There's a time delay. So you need to specify what you're saying yes to. So, Carol, I'm assuming that you're saying yes to an elderly man that couldn't stand up straight, that was very elderly. I'm putting him in his late 70s or 80s. The age is difficult to judge with this man. He was so weak towards the end. I may be making him older than he actually was. But like I say, I get the feeling that very, very elderly. Right, okay, so you can't take that. But, Carol, what are you saying no to? Again, don't just give me a no. Give me a yes or a no to what you're saying no to. If you give me a no, then I'm going to assume that you're saying no to the entire person coming forward. So please, everybody, pay attention to this. If I give you evidence, you have to say yes and specify what you're saying yes to, and no and specify what you're saying no to. And if it's don't know, if it could or could not be, again, you have to specify that. So, Carol, you've said no. You haven't specified what you're saying no to. You said yes, and you didn't specify what you were saying yes to. So you're saying no to an elderly man. Right, okay. I can't take the age back, Carol. So remember, this doesn't necessarily have to be it doesn't have to be a close relative. We're going back quite a few years when the man passed. And I think he's got connections to the East Coast of America, actually. I'm not saying he comes from the East Coast, but he certainly has been there. Yeah, sorry, Carl, I can't take this back. He is late 70s, early 80s, connection at something, may just have been going on holiday, but he's showing me the East Coast of America, specifically Manhattan area. So somebody that either comes from or went to the Manhattan area. Again, Carol, give me some feedback. Can you take a man, elderly, not necessarily a close relation, maybe somebody that you've known? So, Carol, give me some feedback. Is it a complete no to all of what I've given you? Like I say, expand your thought process. Don't assume it's your father or your loved one that's coming next to you. Now, that's Ying just letting me know that there's a 15-second delay. So, Carol, the last time you communicated with me was 12:43, so I'm assuming that you've had everything that I've given you so far. So, again, doesn't have to be a close relation to you. Some connection with this man to the East Coast of America, maybe a holiday. Okay, so ask for confirmation. He was coming forward for a very specific reason. Carol, have you had a recent fall of some description? Maybe falling out of a chair. It may be falling quite a big fall. Not saying you were hurt, but tripping, I mean, complete falling down. I want to go like that and just like that. Does that make sense to you? It may not have been yesterday. It may have been in the recent past, but can you understand falling over, tripping over But I mean, I'm not just talking about tripping. I mean, you actually fell over. If it's not yourself, someone very, very close to you. So, Carol, does that make sense to you? So, Carol, do you understand falling over? So, Carol, can you understand yourself falling over physically? Maybe falling out of a chair, maybe falling, tripping, being knocked, maybe even being knocked over. Right. Okay. Something about that. I don't know what it is, but whoever this man is, he's not concerned about the fact that you fell. He's concerned about the reason that you fell. I don't know if he's not giving me any information about it. As I said, it's the circumstances of you falling. Right, so 5 times. Okay. So you understand why he's concerned. Obviously, I'm not belittling the fact that you fell. Obviously, you have to take care of not falling, and when you fall, you have to treat whatever condition you're in. But he's making me aware that whatever the reason is that you're falling, you're not paying enough attention. Like you're treating the falling is a symptom. So you're going to have to deal. Now, I don't know. I've got no idea. He's not giving me any indication of the reason that you're falling. Okay. So, like I said, it's not the falling itself that's worrying him. It's the reason you're falling. So you're telling me that you were very ill. Okay, understood. Make sure that you're better. You're saying had, so I'm going to take it from that you've got better. But he's still very, very concerned. Now, I do to be absolutely clear about this. I do not diagnose. I'm not saying that you haven't got better. But what I am saying is, whoever this man is, he's very concerned about the reason that you were falling and that you haven't completely dealt with that. So I'm going to leave you with that. Sometimes, just to explain people, sometimes the messages themselves are also evidential. So, Carol, as I said, I don't know what it is about your illness that he's still concerned about. I mean, if you've been to hospital, if it's been treated, I'm going to assume that you've got better. But there is something, like I say, something about it that you still have to investigate and deal with. It might just be the payment of the hospital bill. I honestly don't know. But like I say, it's the cause that he was concerned about. So I'm going to leave you with that. Okay. So just to prove that this does work the way that we worked it, there's the name. You can't see it. Yes, there you can. So I'm coming to Cafe Rossi. That was Ying pulling your name out of the box as I showed earlier. So Cafe, coming to Cafe. Cafe, I've got a woman coming forward. Definitely a relation. She's a blood relation of some description. She's making me very, very aware that she's very, very like you. You're welcome, Carol. So, Cafe, I'm not getting much to identify this woman other than she's very, very, personality-wise, it's like you. I'm guessing. I'm not getting this as evidence, but she's so close to you. It's like mother or twin sister or close sister or best friend that the two of you are so much alike that everybody, I mean, I'm not talking physically, although it may be. It's personality. Whoever this woman is, she's a carbon copy. She's like a carbon copy. If you could photocopy your personality, if you could put your face down on the photocopying screen and take a screenshot of it, that's this woman's personality. So can you understand a woman in spirit that is an absolute carbon copy of yourself? So, Cafe, can you understand a woman? We've got a 15-second delay, remember. Can you understand a woman in spirit? I'm not getting anything. I'm not even getting age. She says the one identifying feature. Okay, thank you. Can you understand maybe this woman having thick wave? I don't know if it's curly hair or if it's wavy hair, but thick hair as opposed to long hair. I don't think she had her hair sort of long. It's like wavy, curly, bushy. Now, I don't know if that's when she passed, but at some point in her life, she's had hair like that. So she's just, or is that you, Kathy? Is that your hair? She's making me aware of bushy, wavy, thick, curly hair. You know, it's like if that's your head, the hair's coming out like this. So, Kathy, can you understand that either about yourself or about the woman? So, just warning you, that's Ying hitting your people on the head for just saying yes. Although I had only given you one line of evidence, Kathy, at that point, so I'll let you get away with it. So, Kathy, can you understand either this? I don't know what it is. There's something about the hair that's quite significant. Right. So it's you that she wants to talk about then. Okay. So it's your hair then. Okay. Kathy, there's something about your hair that needs looked at, or your head. Now, I do not diagnose, so don't go away and get yourself an MRI scan. It's the hair. Have you been to the hairdresser recently? Do you need to go and get your hair cut? Or are you planning on going to get your hair cut? Or have you had it permed? You know, the old-fashioned silver foil over the head. I don't know what it is. There's something going on about your hair. Color? Do you dye your hair? Are you going bald? Sorry, I'm guessing here, but she's not giving me anything other than hands up to the hair. Right, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Did you make a mess of it? Seriously. Give me a yes or no, because I'm trying to make sense of the message that she's giving me. Did you make a mess of your hair? Because I can't see her. She's still just giving me the personality. Do you have a sense of humor? I mean, have you looked at yourself in the mirror and have you burst into hysterics laughing at yourself after what you did with the hair? Because that's what she's making me, that's the image that she's putting in my head, is you standing with the hair and the scissors going like that. Well, she just wants you to know that you should be laughing, and next time, despite lockdown, it would be better to let it grow longer and go and get it cut professionally. I'll leave you with that. I don't really want to drill down any further into that. Not that you've made a mess of your hair, not that you're not beautiful. She's making me aware of that. Just don't cut your own hair in future. I think you learned that lesson without her telling you that. Coming to Tracy Evans. Tracy Evans. Yep. Sometimes, Kathy, the messages are not profound. They're just straightforward slaps in the face. Coming to Tracy Evans. Tracy. Actually, everybody, I'm going to ask you a favor here. When you're asking for a message, tell us where you're from. We're trying to do this at 12:30 UK time to reach out to America, so we should be about 7:55 Eastern, 6:55 Central. Just let us know where about. I mean, no, I'm not saying you don't have to give me your map coordinates, but just tell me roughly where you are. I mean, are you in America? Are you coming from Australia? Are you in Britain? Are you next door to me? I just want to know. I mean, like I say, I'm trying to reach out outside of Scotland. Just want to know how successful Ying and I are doing this tonight. You're welcome, Kathy. So sorry for that wee transgression, Tracy. Coming to yourself. So Tracy, coming to yourself. Tracy, can you take a man? The one thing that is drawing my attention to is he was single. Well, you're not in Scotland, Tracy, so at least we got out of Scotland. Thanks, Kathy. So, Tracy from Wales, can you take a single man in spirit? I don't think he was that. I don't think he's that elderly. Now, remember, I'm 55, so anybody younger than 55 is a youngster to me. I may not look it with my beautiful complexion, but trust me, I feel it. Yeah, a man who, when he passed, was single. He may have been married and may have got divorced, but when he passed, he's younger than 55, was younger than 55, and he is, or was when he passed, single. Dark hair, black or dark hair, very dark brown, or black or almost black hair, and short hair. I mean, I know I've got what we call here in Scotland a number 3 haircut, which is basically as short as you can get without going bald. We call that a baldy in Scotland. There you are, you're getting educated. Tracy, can you take a man, his hair is longer than mine, black or very dark brown, age under 50, I think, so maybe late 30s up to 50. And like I say, he's either, when he passed, he was either single or he was very lonely. Let's put it that way. Okay, thank you, Tracy. Let me see. Let's see why he's coming forward. Tracy, I don't know if this is the message or if this is a memory, so you're going to have to help me. He's showing me him slapping you across the face. Now, like I say, this may be symbolic. It may be something that he wants to correct in something that you're doing, or it may be a memory. So can you understand this man ever slapping you across the face? Now, like I say, it doesn't have to be literal. I'm not, I wouldn't slap a woman across the face, no matter how angry I was with her. So I'm not saying that he did actually slap you across the face physically, but can you understand him at some point when he was alive, metaphorically slapping you across the face? I mean, something that he wanted to get your attention about, he really disagreed with, it was as good as a physical slap across the face. Whatever it was that you were doing, you suddenly stopped and you paid attention to him. Let's put it that way. He shouted at your face. He shook you by the arms, metaphorically. He metaphorically slapped you across the face to get your attention and to get you to stop doing something. Whatever this incident is, it's either something that he wants to do now that he's done in the past, so he's wanting to do the same again. It may be an actual memory. So, Tracy, does any of this make sense to you? Can you understand any of this? So, Tracy, can you understand any of this about this man? You've identified who the man is. Can you understand at some point either he wants to do it to you just now to draw attention to get you to stop doing something, or it's a memory from the past? Although I think it's both, actually. I think he's drawing attention to something that he did in the past. Right. Okay. So, I'm not saying it's the same thing that's going on just now, but there's something going on in your life. Can you take a downward spiral, but without the drinking? So, Tracy, just now, can you understand yourself emotionally on a downward spiral using your own words, but not with the drinking? Does that make sense to you just now? Because he very, very much, it's more than a memory. He wants to do the same to you again. So, Tracy, can you understand this? He wants to do the same to you again. I'm not sure if it's something specific that you're doing just now that you know how he would react the same way, or it's something like an emotional spiral downwards that you're going through just now. So, Tracy, do you understand? Does this make sense to you? I mean, you've identified the memory from the past. Can you understand Right. Well, he's not going into any details. He's not telling me about the spiral. So just be absolutely just shake yourself out of it because he's doing it. I mean, I'm not joking. He wants me to take my hand, put it through the screen, and slap you across the face again, just like he did in the past. He's saying that whatever it is you're talking about, you need it now more than you need it now. So I'm going to leave you with that. So Tracy, I'm going to leave you with that.
Jason.
Sorry for that. I was about to go to you, Jason, anyway. I'm waiting for Ying to bring your name forward. So there you go, Jason. You were next on the list. Jason's a regular, by the way. Jason comes with us every Sunday. Now, just also to draw his attention, I will not, while you're here, I will not be doing my normal Sunday broadcast, Jason. As I've told people before, this Sunday, I am going to be doing a private Zoom reading. It's £5 if you want to go to it. All the money, less the processing charges, is being donated to a local hospice. And it's Zoom, so it's face-to-face. Everybody that pre-registers will get probably about a 5 or 6 minute reading. £5 for charity. I will put the website up when I'm finished. So, Jason, can you take a woman from Spirit that likes to thanks, Jason. Jason, can you take a woman in Spirit that likes the color brown? I think it's she used to wear brown woolen knitted hats. That's what she's showing me. That's all I'm getting. It's a brown, you know, the kind of hats that fishermen would wear. You know, the sort of woolen, woolen. You know, the sort of woolen hat, you know, it comes up to the top, sort of pointed down, circular, and is maybe curved upwards. That's the only thing she's showing me for identification. It's a woolen knitted, may not be knitted, but it's definitely a woolen hat. Okay. Right, so you understand who you've got coming forward, Jason. Jason, did your grandmother have sight issues? Now, I don't know if this is actual sight issues, but she physically, all of a sudden, made me go like that with my head, but it was my eyes. It's as though I was hiding my eyes and looking at the ground like that with the ground. Can you understand her doing that as a physical gesture? Like squinting my eyes and moving away like that. Does that make sense about your grandmother, Jason? Can you understand that? Or are you doing that? So, Jason, can you understand what I'm talking about? Right. Okay. Yeah, something. Yeah, that's it. It's like I'm hiding from the camera, like I'm staring at my camera on my desk. And right, you as well. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. So, what is it just now, Jason? I'm asking her why she's coming forward, and she's doing the same thing. Now, obviously, it's not me sitting here on a broadcast camera, but do you understand something coming up that involves you, exactly the same gesture, hiding your eyes from a camera? Something like it's like something like you know how at the end, it's when you were at school, at the end of year, they used to take the annual photo, everybody in their school uniforms, the class photo, the year photo, maybe the end of term. Is something coming up like that, maybe work or club or social, where you're going to have to be photographed? So can you understand that, Jason? Is there maybe not so much? Right, okay. The message from your grandmother is very simple, Jason. Pull yourself together and just get on with it and do it. Just grit your stomach, put your wrist, smile on. That's your grandmother that's doing that anyway. It's not me. Spirit gets very physical with me. I sometimes wish they wouldn't, but you've basically to smile and grimace and bear it. So I'm going to leave you with that, Jason. Now, while I'm coming to the next person, I have put the website up. So thanks for the feedback, Jason. I put the website up for the charity event. Basically, if you would like to donate some money to charity, it's £5 UK, which is about $6.50 if translating that if you're watching from America. Tomorrow, Sunday, 8:30 UK time. Basically, once you register tonight or tomorrow, I'll be sending out the Zoom links for Sunday, and basically just follow the instructions. There is a website on my page where you can go and get help to install Zoom in case you've never got Zoom. But basically, money's all going to a good cause. It's a local hospice. So, coming to Karen Parker. Karen, can you take someone in spirit who suffered from some form of dementia before? I think it's a woman. I may be wrong, because when I get someone with dementia, I just get a complete blank in my mind until the person can say yes or no, and then they take that away and they give me more evidence. So, Karen, can you understand someone in spirit who suffered from Alzheimer, dementia, or something very similar? I mean, very, very similar. Confusion, not recognizing people, not knowing what they're doing, not being able to look after themselves. And I don't mean physically, although that may have been involved as well. It's very, very much, the memory loss, not recognizing people, just living in the wrong time zone, the wrong personality. So, Karen, are you still with us, Karen? Can you understand a woman in spirit who suffered from dementia before she passed? So, Karen, we've got a 15-second delay. I'm not going to keep this spirit hanging around indefinitely. Can you recognize someone in spirit that suffered from dementia? Okay, Karen, now remember, it doesn't have to be someone close to you. I'm not saying this is somebody you cared for, but woman, somebody before she passed, she had extreme dementia. I'm sorry, but unless you can recognize who it is, she's not giving me much more. So I'm going to ask her to step back, Karen. I'm sorry. I'm going to ask her to step back. I'll wait a few seconds. Think outside the box. It doesn't necessarily have to be your mother or your sister. Right. I'm going to open this up. Can anyone take a woman in spirit who suffered from extreme dementia? Now, just be absolutely clear. Don't come forward and say that. Hold on one second. Well, Karen, it could be, but like I said, what I'm getting is a complete mental confusion. I mean, if it was drink, it wasn't just like one drink now and again. It would have to have been pretty consistently, if not drunk 24/7, certainly for long periods of time. So, like I say, Karen, can you understand a woman in spirit? I was interpreting it as Alzheimer's dementia, but if it is drink, it had that kind of effect. I mean, like I say, just to be absolutely clear, so there's no confusion, we're not talking about somebody that was maybe slightly alcoholic that just had the occasional binge. We're talking about let's call it drunken stupor. We're talking about absolute drunken stupor every day, every night. I'm not saying drunk every minute, but drunk to the point of total confusion. Okay, so she okay, I'm getting more from her, so bear with me. It's a bit difficult when they give me that sort of mental state to identify them. Okay, so she's saying yes to your recognition. Give me a few seconds to try and get some more evidence from her. Karen, can you understand? She's showing me an umbrella, but it's a very specific umbrella. It's a folded up umbrella. You know the kind, the short black one that you either click a button and it opens up, or you pull it to open up. A very small umbrella. It's the kind of thing. It's the kind of thing that you would carry like in a handbag or a shopping bag. Can you understand that? I don't know if that's. Now, you've given me a yes, Karen. Is that yes? Please, people, when you say yes, give me. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Kathleen, came to the wrong Kathleen. Karen, can you understand for some way? Now, this may be now, or it may be some evidence to her, or it may be some memory for her, but she's showing me a small black umbrella. The kind of thing that would fold out. It's not the kind of thing you're going to carry around going into a storm. It's the kind of thing you carry around in case it rains. In a handbag, in the car. Small, neat, black. Can you understand that? So, Karen, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's something that you've got just now that she's just giving you that as evidence to confirm, or if there's some specific incident or memory to do with this umbrella. Right, Karen, it must be something. If you don't have a memory, if you don't have the umbrella, then basically, let me see what else she's going to say. Just watch out for the umbrella. I don't know what the significance of the umbrella is. I honestly don't know why she's giving me the umbrella, Karen. You're just going to have to either investigate it or watch for it. Sometimes they give something that has some significance, and then after the event, you suddenly remember. So, Karen, I'm going to leave you with that. Just watch for the umbrella. So, I'm sorry, Karen, I'm not getting anything more from her. Just watch for the black umbrella. I don't know the significance of it, but there is some significance. Okay, coming to Kathleen. Kathleen. You will do, Karen. I think it's going to make significant. I honestly think when you understand what it's about or when you see it, you're going to understand. There's a message about the umbrella. You are going to understand it when you see it or when you recognize it or you remember it. But I'll leave you with that. So, Kathleen. Hello, Kathleen. Kathleen, I think now I'm guessing here because I'm trying to make sense of what I'm being shown. I think I've got a school teacher or somebody that works in a school or works around children, because what I'm being shown are when you kit a child's sort of kit for school. You buy them pencils, plastic ruler, pencil sharpener. The pencils come in the wee plastic pencil case. I'm being shown all of that. I don't think it's a child I've got. I think it's either a parent of a young child or it's definitely a school, I'm seeing a blackboard. I'm seeing chalk. So, like I say, I'm not saying I've got a teacher. It's me that's assuming it's a teacher. And I'm not seeing children. I'm just seeing a classroom. I'm being shown a classroom now. You know, the really old fashioned, and we're going back in time now, wooden desks. You know, the sort of wooden desk with a steel chair in it. I don't even think you can see them anymore. But it's like a school classroom with, like I say, all the things that you would buy for a child, a young child going to school. It's not the kind of thing you're going to buy a 15-year-old. So can you take somebody on the other side that all of this would make sense to? Somebody that works in a classroom. Right, okay. So that's what the spirit's talking about. Let me see if I can figure out who it is. I'm sorry, Kathleen. I'm not getting anything beyond the evidence about what is obviously the message. This is really weird. Kathleen, can you take somebody in spirit that was very shy, that wouldn't, they would hide from you? Literally, if you went into their, if you knocked, yeah. Do you have a memory of somebody where you went to see them, you knocked on the door or you rang on the doorbell, and you knew they were there, but they didn't answer the door? Just they were so secretive, they physically would not answer the door. So, Kathleen, does this make sense to you? I'm trying to identify who this spirit is. I mean, we know what they're talking about, and I'll give you the message in a minute. I don't like giving the message before I know who I've got. It's the wrong way round. So can you understand a memory of going to see, and also something about the hand, something about the right hand? This person may have had an issue with the right hand, or someone who has rung on the doorbell, or you've knocked on the door, or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe they've come to see you, and it's you that's been hiding in the house, and for some reason you wouldn't go to the door and see them. Okay. Right. So that's why I'm not getting any evidence of who it is, because you don't know who it is. It's a spirit. Okay, right. So let's see what more they're going to give me. Yeah. Okay, so they're talking about the hand, and they're talking about you becoming a primary school teacher. So let me try and make sense of what this spirit is saying. Primary school is a definite yes. You are basically to do it. No ifs, no buts. For some reason, are you hesitant about it? Like, are you not sure? I get the feeling that you're the one with the doubts about doing it. Does that make sense to you? So, Kathleen, do you yourself have doubts about doing this? You're holding yourself back. I mean, I know you're going to be worried about your son's hand operation, but basically, right. Well, basically, the message is you will be the most incredible primary school teacher the world has ever seen. You're a very organized person, aren't you? You like they're making me feel that when you run the primary school, the kids are going to stand up, they're going to salute you, they're going to say hello. And I know that is not the way that primary schools are run these days. I know that's very much an old-fashioned attitude. But just basically, whoever the spirit is totally behind you. The spirit may be shy, but they will be with you for this entire journey. And it's going to be it's not just the kids that you're going to bring joy to. Your life is going to brighten up when you start doing this. When you start looking after these kids, when you start helping these kids to just deal with getting their dinner on time. I'm being given this spirit. Oh God, this spirit's over now. From going from shy, totally overwhelming me with all the things and all the impacts that you're going to have on so many people. So just basically lose the hesitation and do it. Now let's see about your son's operation. Let's see why the spirit's coming forward about that. Thanks for that, Jason. Kathleen, right, I don't like giving out bad news, and I certainly don't diagnose, and I am not giving out bad news. This is not about your son's operation. The operation, I mean, I don't predict the future, but the spirit is not concerned about the operation. But there's something else going on. I wasn't being shown the hand to draw attention to the operation. I was being shown the hand to draw attention to your son. There's something going on with your son that he's not talking about. Something. You're going to have to talk to your son, Kathleen, and ask him directly. There's something going on that he needs some help. Maybe it's just support. Maybe it's help or support. I don't know. But you need to speak to him. You need to identify what it is, and you need to basically, I don't know how old your son is, Kathleen, so can you understand looking after your son the same way that you would look after the children in the primary school? Now, I'm not for 1 second saying your child is in primary school. I get the feeling he's an adult. I may be wrong there, but I'm getting a maturity about him from the spirit. But there is something going on that he's not talking about, he's hiding, and you need to talk to him and get it sorted out. So that's it, Kathleen. 2 things. Just lose the self-doubt. You're going to be an incredible teacher for all those kids, but at the same time, don't worry about your son's hand, but do have a serious conversation with him. Don't know what it is about. You're going to have to just ask him. Ah, right. So he's not an adult, he's 2.5. You can't speak to him, right? So it's me that was misinterpreting that about conversation. There's something going on with him. Like I say, it's not the hand operation. So obviously you're aware of the issues. I'm just going to have to leave you with that, Kathleen. Just basically pay special attention. There is something going on that obviously the child can't tell you about it, but just pay close, special attention to him. There's something going on. I'm sorry, I'm not getting anything more than that. Just, like I say, pay a lot of attention to him. I'm sorry, I can't give you anything more specific. I think what you've just told me about your son makes a lot more sense about not being able to get from it. I was interpreting it. Maybe it's the spirit that's mature, or maybe it's you that's got the maturity. But like I say, just just pay attention to it, because there is something that he hasn't told you about or is not able to tell you about. I'm sorry, people, but I can't let this go. I'm trying to get something more to give you some help here. I'm asking for more, and I'm being shown a yellow clipboard. Now, this may just be symbolic. A checklist. It's like a clipboard with a list of things on it. It's not a to-do list. It's like a checklist of things that need to be checked. But like I say, it's not a to-do list. Maybe it's a doctor checklist or a specialist checklist, or maybe it's you that's got a checklist. If you can understand the checklist, have a look at it. If it's symbolic, then it's get a checklist. But there's something going on. There's something on that list that you've missed, or there's something on the list that doesn't make sense. So thanks for the feedback, Jason. Just to explain, people, Kathleen and Jason know each other very well. So right, so just work your way through that. Like I say, that it may be something on the checklist that you're missing, or it may be something on the checklist that is going to open your eyes to something that's going on, or something that you've missed, or something. It's like putting two and two together and making sense of it. So I'm going to leave Jason and Kathleen with that. Good luck with the checklist and the leaflet. Okay, coming to Mandy Bauer. Mandy Bauer. So Mandy, if you're still with us, identify yourself, please. Mandy, I've got a man coming forward. You're welcome, Kathleen. Mandy Bauer. Hello, Mandy. I've got a man coming forward. Now, I don't think this was him before he passed. I think he's showing me himself younger than he was before he passed. I don't know if he's a builder or an architect, but he's certainly on building. I mean, I'm not talking about going around a house like a handyman. He worked on construction or demolition. I mean, I'm seeing him with a white plastic hat on. He's not in dungarees or anything. I don't think he was actually working with his hands, which is what draws me to, like, maybe some sort of manager, like a building manager or an architect of some description. But he's definitely working on buildings, demolition, construction. If not actually on that location, he's certainly going there. So quite thin, a straight, I'm not going to say tall man, but tallish. Well dressed. I mean, smart. Although he's wearing a plastic, he's always wearing a plastic helmet, the kind of thing you would wear in a building yard. He's in a suit, which is the confusing bit. Maybe he's some sort of inspector. If he's not an architect, I mean, I'm saying, don't get too focused on the architect. I'm just giving that as an example of the kind of work that. Okay. Can you understand being well dressed? I mean, would he be well dressed? Your Mandy, would you understand? It's like a grey suit and tie, and it's like a white shirt, a black tie, and a dark plain coloured suit. Did your granddad ever dress like that for work? I mean, it's like the old-fashioned office uniform. I mean, the time scale, if it's your granddad, maybe makes sense because it's the kind of thing you used to wear in an office, which is what was making me think it was somebody like an architect as opposed to somebody that worked with his hands on a site. But can you understand your granddad being well dressed? Like I say, it's a plain color. It's one suit I'm being shown. So do you maybe have a right? Okay. I'm going to have to leave you to work out which one it is, Mandy, because I'm not getting. Like I said, I don't think it's somebody that worked with their hands. He's definitely on a building site. I mean, no ifs and buts about that. That's very specific. But I'm getting a grey suit. Right, maybe that's it. Because, like I say, it could be it could be a funeral suit. It's a very dark, plain suit. So okay, that kind of makes sense. So I'll leave you with that then. Let's see why he's coming forward. Mandy, have you not had an argument, but are you about to have an argument? Something that you've been planning for a short period of time to, I'm not going to say attack somebody, but disagree with somebody, let them know your opinion, and you yourself know it's very quickly going to degenerate into a bargee, an angry shouting at each other. I don't think it's something that's happened yet. I think it's something you're planning on doing. So can you understand that, Mandy? Can you understand having an argument with somebody that you're not having had, you're about to have? And it's a woman. Okay. I don't think it's your partner, to be honest. Like I say, I think it's something that you're about to. It's definitely a woman. If it's with your partner, then somehow it involves a woman. Have you had an argument with your partner about a woman? Or are you about to have an argument with a woman following on from the argument with your partner? Does that make sense to you, Mandy? So, Mandy, does that, I mean, I'm not asking you to tell me what the argument was about. I know this is not exactly a private venue, but can you understand a follow-on argument? Oh, right, okay. So your partner's a woman, right? Okay, sorry, I know in this enlightened age, I'm married to a woman, so you're forcing me to apologize. Right, so it is an argument with your partner then. Are you planning on having a follow-on argument? Like, is the argument not resolved and you're going to have a continuing argument? Does that make sense, Mandy? Like I say, we're not talking about the argument you've had. We're talking about an argument you're about to have. Or are we talking about an ongoing argument with your partner? So, Mandy, can you understand this? Can you understand what I'm talking about? You're either planning to have a continuation of the argument, a follow-up argument. Okay, maybe it's your partner then. Like I said, have a conversation with your partner. Don't allow it, because this is what the message is from your. I'm not sure if it's your father or your grandfather. From your feedback, I'm just going to call him your father, but I don't know which one it is. I'm going to leave you to work out which one it is from the feedback. Right. Okay. So it has been right. So we're making sense then. It has been going on. Right. Well, this father or grandfather, I'm not sure which one it is, I'm sorry, but he wants to put you in your place and he wants to shake you. You know the expression shake it all about? Well, it's you that he's going to shake all about. Basically, apologize to your partner, make peace with your partner, and stop it from getting any worse than it is. Your dad is going to go ballistic, not at your partner, at you, because he is blaming you for the argument. I don't know if you can take that, if you can understand that, but your father is siding with your partner, and he's saying you. I'm not going to say. I mean, I've got no idea. He's not giving me any feedback about what the argument is about, but basically, apologize. I don't know what you would buy your partner: flowers, chocolates, whatever. I mean, obviously, it's a Union Jack you're showing, so I'm assuming you're in the UK. So basically, just make up, cook the meal, take your partner out, but put a stop to it. Do not let it go any further. And that's from me as well as your father. Okay, people, one more message, and then that'll be us finishing. Please do not go until we do a closing prayer. One more. Okay, I'm going to do two more then. So this one and the next one, people. Coming to Lorna Spink. Lorna Spink. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at Jason's comment. Jason is a very happily married man, so take his advice. And you're welcome, Mandy. Right, Lorna. I'm sorry for that slight little conversation there. Hello, Lorna. Okay, Lorna, I've got a man coming forward. Lorna, can you take an elderly man that died in hospital or a hospice? He wasn't at home when he died. Very specific. I think it's a hospital. I don't think it's a hospice. Can you take a man that died in a hospital? Elderly man dying in a hospital, Lorna. Does that make sense to you? Can you identify who this is? He's showing me a wheelchair. Now, I don't think he was in a wheelchair. I think he was... Okay. Right. He wants to talk about... Lorna, have you been to a zoo recently? What I'm being shown, or a safari park, or maybe a holiday where you would see giraffes. Right, now you've given me a yes, Lorna. As we keep saying, don't just give me a yes. Tell me what the yes is to. I'm not sure if you're still giving me it, because there's a time delay here of 15 seconds. So I'm not sure if you're talking about the man or if you're talking about the zoo. So I'm going to have to assume that you're saying, you've given me 3 yeses in a row without clarification. Please, people, Ying keeps saying, give clarification to what you're saying yes to. So I'm going to assume you've been to the zoo recently. Were there children with you at the zoo? Can you understand young children being at the zoo with you? And can you understand... Okay. So, Lorna, can you understand having children with you at the zoo? Did one of the children, and I'm saying children as in plural, did one of the children run away or get lost or hide? Does that make sense to you, Lorna? Lorna, give me a quick yes or no, because I'm getting an important message here. If this doesn't make sense to you, let me know. Can you understand having, let's say, 2 children or more at the zoo with you? Right. Can you understand one of them getting lost? So, Lorna, this is important. Please come back to me as fast as you can. Can you understand? Right. Speak to your daughters. I don't know how old your daughters are. I don't know if you can have a coherent, intelligent, I don't know if they're old enough to have an intelligent conversation, but have a serious conversation with them, because I think something may have happened when they were lost. Now, don't blow it out of proportion. It may just be that they were speaking to somebody that they shouldn't have been speaking to. So, like I say, don't go dialing 999 for the police until you've spoken to your daughters. But I want you to have a very serious conversation and interrogate your daughters. Do you understand what I'm saying, Laura? I don't want to be too public about this. I want you to interrogate your daughters and find out. Right, so we're not talking about toddlers then. Find out what happened. Like I said, something happened when they were by themselves. It may have been one of them, but find out what happened. It may be somebody said something to them, did something, followed them. I don't know. But I want you to have a serious conversation with them and do something about it. Maybe somebody they knew, they maybe met somebody, I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of this. It may be somebody they met or somebody they recognize. They may have seen something. It may not necessarily be them. They may have seen something that they haven't followed up on, because the 17, 18, not kids at 17, 18, but they're not exactly, we're not talking about a lot of experience in life at that age. Have a conversation with them. Just go over, like I say, they weren't with you. Obviously 17, 18s, they're not going to get lost. I was thinking maybe younger teenagers when I was getting this. They've maybe seen something with younger children or teenagers that hasn't registered. So just have a conversation with them and work it out. It's going to be a jigsaw puzzle. It's, they're not going to go, oh, yes. Maybe they will. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to leave you with that and figure out what it is. But whatever it is, follow it up. Do not, even if it's just a suspicion, do not leave it lying. Follow that up. Okay, so this is going to be my last message. Please, everybody, do not disappear, because I would like to do a closing prayer to send some healing energy to the people that need it. So the next message is for Deborah Chambers Neely. Deborah, Deborah, can you take a child in spirit? This may be a miscarriage. It may be someone that passed as a child. You're welcome, Lorna. So, Deborah, can you take somebody that passed as a child or a baby? Or, as I said, it may be a miscarriage. Excuse me for 1 second. I'm just blocking somebody who's trying to do some advertising, and I've got rid of them. As I said at the beginning, when I did my introduction, do not underestimate the fact that I may be a spiritual medium, but I am a bloody hard Scotsman as well. And if somebody's watching this and if they want to start harassing people that are here for messages, I will cut your legs off. Sorry about that, Deborah. Right, Deborah. So I've got a woman coming forward who wants to talk about your baby. The woman is drawing, whoever this woman is, she's drawing attention to the head. So you're going to know this woman. I think she died maybe in a crash, maybe head injury, maybe a brain tumor, something, or maybe even a stroke. But something about the head is relevant to the way that this woman passed. Now, the message is not about this woman. Woman is quite elderly when she passed. The head injury may have been when she was younger. I was assuming the head injury had to do with her passing. Maybe not. But you're going to remember this woman by an injury to the head. Very plain dresser. Very loving woman. Grey hair when she passed. Glasses. Very circular glasses. Right, the message is very simple. Your baby is being looked after. I'm not sure how old he is. And it's a he. I think it's a he. Raising the child on the other side. When you die as a baby or a child, you arrive on the other side at the same age, and you continue to grow. You'll have your relatives or someone will be brought forward to raise them, to be the adoptive parent. So it's not your child, it's your grandmother, sorry. Well, Deborah, your grandmother is now looking after your child, raising the child as though it was her own. And you don't have anything to worry about. You don't have to. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying don't grieve. That I'm not going to be insensitive and say anything like that. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to worry about your child growing up on the other side. The child is being looked after. The child has a beautiful woman, your grandmother, that is raising him, and he's going to grow up to be a fine young man in due course. When people grow up on the other side, the baby child, he's still a child, is not going to be able to come forward for many, many years. You may be aware of, as he grows up, of him around you, but it's as much for the child's protection so that they're not experienced. For example, they're not going to be exposed to your grief. There's still children on the other side. Yeah, I understand that. I think this is why your grandmother's coming forward for you, Deborah. I was actually going to close down. My wife is also works with spirit, and she sensed that you had to have the message. So that's why we're giving you this message. I'm not telling you not to grieve, Deborah. I'm can't be that level of, I'm not going to display that level of insensitivity. But I am going to say to you, Deborah, do you feel guilty? I mean, I'm beyond grieving. Are you feeling some sort of sense of guilt over your son passing? If you are, don't. I'm not telling you not to grieve, but take happiness. Your grandmother is loving him. Your grandmother is raising him. You're going to have to wait many years before your son is able to come forward or is allowed to come forward to give you a message. And watch out for some, yeah. Deborah, stop feeling guilty. And if you can't take that from your grandmother, if you can't get rid of your self-guilt, then you have to go and get help for it. Seriously. I'm telling you this. This is what your grandmother's saying. You have to stop feeling guilty. It wasn't your fault. There's nothing you could have done to stop it. Your child is being taken care of. You have nothing to worry about. You yourself, I know it's not easy to say you're going to have to wait maybe a decade or more before your son is able to come forward. But basically, have patience. Your son will come forward to you in the future. When the child is ready, when the child is mature enough, this is not about you. This is about the child. The child has to grow up. The child is being protected by your grandmother. But at the same time, this is about you. I'm not telling you not to grieve. You've lost a child. I know that. I'm telling you the child can't come forward. He's okay. I'm telling you, you don't need to hear it again. Your son is being cared for. Your son is growing up. I cannot overemphasize this enough. So I'm glad you understand. Please take on board what I'm saying. Do something to deal with the guilt. Because when your son is ready to come forward, your grandmother will. This is a message from your grandmother. When your son is old enough to come forward, she will not allow him to be exposed to your guilt until you yourself can handle that guilt. Yeah, understood, Deborah. Just maybe get counseling. Seriously. Is there somebody, a friend that you can speak to that can help you? I'm going to leave you with that, Deborah, because I'm going over the same thing again. And to be honest, it's now 10 to 2 my local time. So I'm going to leave you with that. So, Deborah, good luck. You're welcome, Deborah. Okay, everyone. So I'm going to ask you to join me in a closing prayer. I think there's several people here that could do with some healing energy. So please join me in a prayer and let's send some healing energy. Dear Father, Mother Spirit, thank you very much for bringing forward the evidence that we've received tonight. Please send healing energy to the people that are here tonight that need it. I normally try to send healing energy out into the world, but tonight I think there's several people that really could do with that healing energy. So thank you, everyone, for joining with me in prayer. Please, Spirit, focus that healing energy. The people that you got the messages, I'm not going to rename them, but we know the ones that need the healing energy. Please make sure that they receive it. Thank you. Amen. Okay, thank you, everybody. If you have come later and you want a message, I will be back this time next Friday/Saturday. So that's 12:30 UK time, minus 5 hours, 7:30 Eastern time. I will not be doing a broadcast with my wife Ying on Sunday. We're doing a Zoom presentation where you can get a private reading one-to-one, but the money is all going to charity. This Sunday, the money is going to a local hospice. That's the website just come up. We're hoping to do that last Sunday of the month, 8:30 UK time. So go to my website, markstuartmedium.com/charity hyphen line readings. Charity-readings. £5, and it's going to a local hospice. Other than that, I'm going to play you out with my favourite Scottish music. Well, in case you didn't know, I am a Scottish medium. So, thank you, everybody. Hang around for the music if you enjoy it. If not, farewell.